Hello people, thank you for joining me for another beer review. Well, comparison video this time. It's Beer Monster O'Clock. What we're going to be doing this video, you can probably tell by the thumbnail and the title anyway, but just in case you can't, Staropramen versus Staropramen. The difference is, this is the one you see in most shops in the UK. It's actually not brewed in the Czech Republic like it should be. It's a Czech pilsner, but it's brewed in UK in Burton-on-Trent. The people who make Madry and all that, brew this. It's a 660ml bottle, the UK brewed one. And the main difference you can tell, in case you're not sure when you round your supermarket, whether you're drinking the UK brewed one or the Czech one, the UK brewed one just has an S on the bottle and a green lid. Whereas the Czech brewed one, if you look at the lid, it actually says Staropramen, and it's like a nice creamy sort of colour. So that will tell you that it's the Czech brewed one. Every bottle that I've checked with that lid on, it says on the back that it's brewed in Czech Republic. They're both 5%, so there's no difference in ABV, but there is a difference in the size of the bottle. The Czech brewed one is 500ml bottles, so you're getting a bit less beer. I think the Czech one is slightly cheaper in Lidl though, but I'm not too sure. But I do think the Czech one is slightly cheaper, but I don't think it's that much cheaper. Anyways, where's my bottle opener? Oh god, I know I forget something. Oh, here it is. Right, let's get them open, and basically I'm going to tell you what one I prefer and just tell you if I think there's much difference. You know, is the Czech one actually better? Because, you know, a lot of people say, and including me, that Staropramen, even when it's UK brewed, is quite a nice beer compared to a lot of the other ones they've messed up, like Stella, like Cruz Campo, and plenty of them. Most of these beers that are supposed to be brewed somewhere else, that are brewed in the UK, are not very good. This tends to be one section that's not been affected as badly. We're going to put them both in Stella chalices, so that it's equal as far as sort of the looks go and the lacing and all that. I've washed them up the same way and all that just before I made the video. Right, there we have the Czech, no, not the Czech one, sorry, the UK brewed one. I'm guessing they're going to look the same, but I don't know, because I've actually not tried the Czech one whilst thinking this is Czech brewed, if that makes sense, because it's always the UK one now. The UK one seems to have a better head, which is interesting straight away. Actually, maybe not. That could just be in the pour. Right. You know what? Remember, this one in the left hand is the Czech brewed one. They look pretty much the same. Smaller bubbles. No, actually, in the UK brewed one, the bubbles are really small. And they're really sort of going right down the centre. The Czech brewed one, they're still small, but they'll spread out throughout the whole glass, which is interesting. I don't know if you can really pick that up on the camera, but they're throughout the whole glass where they're in like a tight kind of line down the middle on the UK brewed one. Not that really fucking matters. I just thought I'd point it out. The head on the UK brewed one does seem to be retaining better, which is interesting. But does it really mean much? Not really. It could be the pour. It could be better glass. Even though they're the same, the glass might have been used less times. So I wouldn't look too much into that. At the end of the day, let's just try them, because that's all that really bloody matters. I'm not even, should I check? Should I smell them? Yes, I suppose I should. Yeah, earthy. The UK one smells earthy. I think I said that when I was tried it on tap. Earthy and... Oh. Yeah, there is definitely a difference. This one smells more sweet. The Czech one smells more sweet. But not an artificial sweet. Like a malty sweetie. There's just a slight chemically smell to the UK one as well, I would say. The Czech one smells better. But who really gives a shit what they smell like? It's all about the taste, isn't it? But definitely, bring the camera a bit closer. As you can see here, the head is definitely retaining better. Ooh. On the UK brewed one, which is interesting. We'll start with that one first, because this is one I've have drunk most recently and what I'm used to. We'll have a big old gulp. It's not horrible. I don't hate it. Pretty much like I've already kind of said what I need to say is before I've even tried it, because I've visited this before recently when I was on holiday. It's as far as the copies go, it's definitely one of the least affected. It does have a bit of a bitterness on it, but it's also got like a earthy. It's very earthy on the finish, earthy and bitter. I would say that you can't really notice the malts that much in it, which with the Pilsner Quell, which is Czech brewed, has got really nice malt character to that, but you're not really getting that in the Staropramen. That could just be because it's not as good as Pilsner Quell, but could be because it's UK brewed, I don't know. But overall, that's easy, a 7.5 out of 10 kind of beer, I would say. It's nice, it's drinkable, there's nothing wrong with it. But, it should be shit now that it's brewed in the UK. It should be awful, like all the others are. But it's not. I would say that reminds me of something like Heineken, in a way, the UK brewed Heineken. It's not the best, it's nowhere near as good as the Dutch brewed stuff. But it's pretty, it's 5%, it's not too bad, but there is that kind of note to it. Because of the water. All right, let's try the Czech one. There is actually a very big difference. But not in the way that I thought there was going to be, necessarily. Let me just go again. Right. First thing I noticed was actually the mouthfeel. It's a lot smoother than the UK brewed Staropramen. It's definitely. I was talking to somebody in my life. I'm actually filming this live in the online pub, by the way, people. I'm actually filming it live in the online pub, whilst also making this video, sort of doing a 2-in-1. So they're watching me while I'm doing it. And somebody said that the UK one's more bitter than the Czech one. And I would actually agree with whoever said that. It is more bitter, which for some people will be a good thing. But I don't think it's a particularly pleasant bitterness. It is bitter, but it also has that earthy kind of note, which I think is making it taste more bitter. This is more smooth, and it's more kind of... You try the UK brewed one, and you kind of... It's nice, and then at the end, it's a little bit harsh, maybe. Whereas this one, it just flows along a bit more naturally. It's more smoother, it's more easy drinking. But they're both nice. There is more difference than that. The malts. There's definitely sweeter. I picked that up on the aroma, actually. This Czech one is definitely sweeter. It's got like a nice, like kind of butterscotchy, biscuity kind of, just a really nice malt quality that you get from the Pilsner Quell. But I think the UK brewed water is somewhat masking the malts. But I think the fact the UK water actually works quite well with this beer, which is why it's still quite nice, the UK brewed one. It does work. It works with it quite well, especially with the finish. But the start on the Czech brewed one is definitely a lot nicer. But it is a bit sweeter, and I'm not massively into my sweet beers, so. But it's not an unpleasant sweetness. When I say sweet, I don't like glucose syrup and all that. This is like a nice malty sweetness. One thing that stands out as well, we can't not mention Pilsner Quell. I definitely prefer Pilsner Quell over Czech brewed Staropramen. But that's down to my personal taste, and that is very bitter without the kind of earthiness from the UK brewed Staropramen. It's crisper, it's less bitter, which for some people will be good, some people won't be. I like a nice bitterness, but this is less bitter, but it's a more pleasant bitterness. It kind of, you don't notice the transition between the sweet malts and the bitterness on the Czech one, whereas you really notice it on the UK brewed one. It's a little bit harsh, it's a little bit, you know, but I'd say they're both good beers. Well, anything else to say about them? Not really. I suppose I've got to score this one. Closer than you might think. Maybe 8. I was expecting to like it more. But I do really like it. I was expecting it to wow me like Pilsner Quell does, and it doesn't quite wow me. But it's a solid beer. There is something that I do like about the... It's odd, right? The UK one, the bitterness, it's not organic. Like, it tastes... There's a slight artificial note in there as well. And it is really earthy from the water. But it works. It doesn't taste horrible. The lacing, very interesting on the glass, is better from the UK brewed one. Look at that. That's the UK brewed one, believe it or not. That is the Czech one. It looks flat as a witch's tit. But I have had this for quite a while, this Czech one. It's not out of date, though. So the conditioning on the UK one is actually really good. I actually think I might be being a bit harsh on the UK one by giving it a 7.5. I think they're very equal. It just depends what you prefer, if I'm honest. And I do prefer a bitterness, but it is a bit artificial. So I'm a bit surprised that the Czech one's not better. I'm kind of waffling on there. I'll leave it at that, but I'll say the Czech one just gets the edge as far as taste goes, and also mouthfeel. But the conditioning, the heads retain better, the lacing's better on the glass of UK one, and it's by no means a bad beer. So you could call it 2-1 to the UK one, or 2-2 actually. It's very close. I would just go for the Czech one, but then it comes into the bottle size. For me, if they're the same price, I think I'd be tempted to go for the UK brewed one because the bottle is considerably bigger. And I actually think, I'd probably go for the extra bit of beer. They're not that different. I might have one proper one and then just go to the bigger bottles to save a bit of money. There's not that much in it. Anyway, thanks for watching, people. Let me know if you've tried both. And let me know your thoughts and opinions. But in all honesty, it's a lot closer than I thought. And that's a good thing. Let's hope if they do start brewing more other beers in the UK, that they do it like these guys have done. Well, I say that, but they normally fuck everything up, these guys, didn't they? Because they made Madry and fucking all that shit. But, yeah, they ain't done too bad there as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, that's my opinions. Thanks for watching, people. Bye-bye, darlings. Bush. I said I weren't going to make it long. Fucking 14 minutes later.